Brotherman Bill, your reading will be the insert from the Cape of Bats 7-inch Transylvania. Oh, fuck, there's water everywhere. God damn it, shit. Poop balls. Holy shit, this is long. Abhartek. In Glenullen, a few miles outside the town of Garvach, North Derry in Northern Ireland, lies what is believed to be the grave of one of the earliest recorded vampires in Western Europe. The landscape round about is dark and brooding, broken only by fragments of ancient forest and small hill forts, perhaps the type of country that you'd expect to find the tomb of the undead. Indeed, it's almost like remote parts of Romania in appearance. But who was the vampire and why is he buried in an isolated spot in Northern Ireland? The story of Abhartek, the vampire chieftain, is a simple but chilling one. Dating from the 5th or 6th centuries when Glenullen was a patchwork of small kingdoms, it tells of a feared ruler who controlled an area of what is now known as the Lower Glen. His name was Abhartek, and descriptions of him vary, but most say he was a small and wicked-looking, and might well have been deformed. He was also said to have been a great and formidable magician. Oh, magician. Okay. And he was a magician. And he was a tyrant whom his people both feared and loathed in equal measure. They certainly wished to kill him, but their absolute terror of the man prevented them from doing so. So they did the next best thing. They hired another king to kill Abhartek for them. The name of this other ruler, of usually, Jesus Christ, spell check, of usually given, or learn to edit, of usually given as Catan, and he was said to have ruled a kingdom beyond present-day Glenullen in Glengiven, now Dungiven. Catan came from beyond the mountain and slew Abhartek, arranging for him to be buried in a grave in the center of his kingdom, standing up as befitted a Celtic warrior. However, the next day the evil ruler was back, and moreover, he demanded a basinful of blood as a gory tribute from his subjects. This was not to be taken from the necks of his victims. No vampire drinks from the jugular vein. It simply looks good in films. But from the crook of their arms, where a nurse might take a blood sample, the people gave this tribute, but recalled Catan, who came over the mountain again and slew him. He was buried again in the same grave, standing up. The next day, however, he was back, demanding the same gory tribute as before. Catan was extremely puzzled and went to see a local saint or druid, depending on which version of the story you follow, who dwelt in nearby Gortnamoyag forest. The holy man considered for a long time and then told Catan that he did not think that Abhartek was really dead. No shit. His dark and evil magic has somehow made him immortal. You know, because he was a magician. It somehow made him immortal. And he was now one of the the night walking dead of Irish legend and folklore. As such, he couldn't be killed, although he might be suspended. Catan would have to kill him with a sword made of yew wood, bury him upside down, place a number of thorns around his gravesite, and place a large stone or sepulchre over where he was buried. All of this Catan did, and the grave is still there to this day. The idea of placing thorns or seed around the grave seems to come from an old Eastern European tradition. Vampires are supposed to be extremely fastidious creatures and will be forced to count all the thorns scattered about, placing them in neat piles. This it will continue to do until the sun rises and the creature is forced to return to the grave. In parts of Romania and Hungary, villagers scatter poppy seeds around the grave of a suspected vampire for this very reason. The stone sepulchre, which Catan raised over Abhartak's grave, seems to have been a large and impressive one, ladies. In fact, it gave the immediate townland its name, Slag Tavary. Abhartak's elect being Irish for sepulchre or grave marker. Today nothing remains of the great construction except for the capstone which lies on top of the gravesite. A small tree which is said to have grown from the thorns which Catan scattered about, although it is much younger and of a different variety, stands beside it. The place is very eerie, even though it lies in the middle of a wide field, and very few locals will venture down to it at night. I'm not reading the rest of this because it's too long, and it's already been 6 minutes, so fuck you. Bill. Dick. George Carlin is overrated. Shit. Stop.